Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amy and you're watching Scavenger Hunt. Today I'm going to be showing you a DIY printable escape room game. This is something I've created and it's going to be available on my website, so you can check out the link in the description. This video is all about what it looks like, how you set it up, how you play it, and all that background information. We are also currently in a hotel, which is where I'm going to film this, and my husband is working also at this hotel, so any typing sounds you hear, that's what that is. This type of escape room is kind of a mixture of escape room and scavenger hunt. So you will not need any locks or boxes. This is all something that you can do paper and pencil. You print it off and you set it up at home. The first thing you'll want to do is pick the kind of puzzles that you're going to use, the different puzzles and ciphers, and then you're going to write them in on this escape room guide. So you're going to start off with a puzzle, and then as soon as that puzzle gets answered, you give that answer to the game host, or you, if you're the one making this, and then you, the game host, would give them an envelope that gives the puzzle for the first location cipher. They solve that, they get the answer for that new location, they find another puzzle at that location, they solve that, they give you the answer, and so on and so forth. So now that I have picked out the puzzles and ciphers that I want to use, I'm going to write them in. It doesn't really matter the order, but obviously if it's up to you, you can do whatever order you'd like. You want them to see if they want to go to the front door first, and then you want them to check under the table next, or if you want the final puzzle to be under the table, then you just make that one last. It's all up to you, and it all works out exactly for what puzzles fit your home. Alright, I have finally filled out my escape room guide. You do not have to fill out the entire thing. Actually, I would encourage you not to unless you want an hour-long game. But this is going to be perfect for me. Also perfect for the locations that I have in this hotel room. Because some of those cipher locations say like theater room or backyard, and I definitely don't have those. So this is going to be perfect. I picked some variety of puzzles so I can show you what those look like. And then you will write down the answers here, or the locations. So then what you would do next, and this is all written down, there's an instruction list in here, so you do not need to follow this video. If you just want to go ahead and print that off, you'll be able to figure it out from there. But what I'm going to do now is cut out all of these things. I'm going to leave the charts for these in a separate pile, because those will just be available to the players in the middle of the room. But all of the clues I'm going to put in order, keep them in order as what you're writing here, and then we'll go through how to place them in the different locations. Okay, as of right now, I am cutting out the first few things, and I am putting the puzzles in its own pile, and I'm probably going to put them upside down just so that they stay in order. And then the ciphers in order, put those upside down, and then a whole other pile for my charts. These do not have to be in order because they're all just going to be random in the room, or you can tape them on the walls. It doesn't really matter. This isn't part of anything that's going to go in those envelopes. So that is my piles, and I'm going to keep cutting. Something else I wanted to mention is that on some of these there are different options for clues. There's a regular clue and then a harder clue. So you can choose between one that is more direct, because it's still a puzzle. You still have to try and go through here and figure out what the possible clues could be. But this one is slightly harder. It has the same words, but they are hidden inside this paragraph, so you have to find them. I'm going to pick this puzzle. Okay, so I have most of my piles done. My charts are out, my ciphers are in order, and my puzzles are in order. This is my last one, and I wanted to show it to you specific because it is editable. So it comes with one that is already set up. If you wanted to just play it this way, go right ahead. But there are options for different things that you can match. and there's a blank version, so you can write in your matches. So to help you, I have written here, write one matching pair using the first box on the left side, that one, and the sixth box on the right side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So whatever things you want to match, you want to put one right here and one right here. And you can kind of tell that that's the case with this too. 1 and 6. And then it'll cross off the exact same way that one does so that the numbers come out the right way. So I'm going to go ahead and make my own matches just to show you what that looks like. I decided to go with words in English that were borrowed from other languages. So if you can tell that I matched the first box with the sixth, so ballet is from French, and the second box with the 10th, so vodka is Russian, etc. Some of these are kind of unique, so maybe you don't want to quite use this for yourself because this was kind of hard, but I don't know, if you have a language expert in your family, they might really enjoy this kind of a puzzle. But that's how you set it up. Now I just gotta cut it out. So also along with this escape room guide, this works perfectly if you just have one group of players playing. But if you wanted to do some kind of a competition, if you wanted to have two teams that are competing against each other, playing the same puzzles in some kind of a race, I encourage you to write out a second guide. Don't use the same one. What will happen is you're gonna have players that are working on the same puzzle at the same time. So it's more likely that at one point somebody's going to like find the answer, run across the house, and then the other team is going to know that, well, we're supposed to go over there too, and so they're just going to run after them and not actually solve any puzzles. So it won't be very fair. So what we would encourage is that you make a different one but use the same puzzles, and we're going to set them up slightly differently. Okay, so what I would recommend is that the first puzzle, move that down to like the third puzzle. So this case, the mirrored numbers is going to be here for puzzle 3. So I'm going to keep it all in the same order actually. So right after this, it's going to be the Braille cipher, and then the connected dots, and then the NATO cipher. And then I'll go down to here, and then whatever ones I have yet to do, they will go on the top. So what that'll do is mean everyone gets to have the same puzzles. Everyone will get to go to the same locations, but not at the same time. Then you can tell your players that ahead of time so that like there's no point in following each other around, because what they're doing might not make any sense with what you're doing, and you need to go in order to get them all done. So you would also have to print off a second set of puzzles and then have those be slightly organized slightly differently, because some puzzles might be at a different location. It's a little bit confusing, but let me finish writing this out and I'll give you a little bit of an example. Alright, so now that that is written out, you can kind of see some of the differences here. So I started at puzzle 3 and I started just writing what was at the top of there. When I got down here to the end though, I stopped at puzzle 5, just like over there, and that'll be the escape note, the final thing. And so to fill in the top part, I actually had to reorganize these a little bit. So instead I had to start with the puzzle, because normally next after superheroes would be in the cipher. So I had to switch these around. So now it's the puzzle, the mirrored words, and then the symbol cipher underneath that, and etc. So what that's going to change is some of these puzzles that are at locations are going to be different per team. So like if we name this team 1, we can make them red, maybe all of their envelopes are red. At the behind the TV, when they pick up that next puzzle, they're going to get this cross-off puzzle. But over here, when they finally get to behind the TV, they're going to pick up this mirrored numbers puzzle. So it's slightly different, and it's useful to have it written out a second time. Just shift everything down like I had mentioned, and that'll make sure that those teams don't run into each other too much. But for showing you how it's going to be set up, we're just going to look at this team. Alright, for the first puzzle on your list, that'll be what your team starts with. I've chosen these mirrored numbers, and that'll be what is first available to them. So you can either put this in an envelope and just keep it, and then when you first explain how the game works, then you can hand them this and they can get started. Or if you want them to just like all of a sudden walk into a room and be like, oh, there's a puzzle here, this will be available to them. So it'll give them a good head start. When they get this, they would then tell you or whoever, the game host, the code is 37542, just like you wrote here. You can hold this list, verify that that's the right code. You would give them an envelope for the first location cipher. So then all of these would go in their own envelopes. I don't have enough envelopes, so we're just gonna have them be open. You would give the team this. In the room, they would have all of these charts, but one of them goes with this. They decipher it. They see that it says BATHROOM, it says bathroom, and so then they would have to go into the bathroom. So what that means is when they get there, they need to find puzzle 2. So essentially, every puzzle here, except for the first one, is hidden or placed in the location right above it. So this Connect the Dots puzzle, I'm going to put in the bathroom. This Superheroes puzzle is going to be on the front door. The Mirrored Words is going to be under the table. This Alphabet Cipher is, Mirrored Words, okay, yeah. The Cross-Off puzzle is going to go behind the TV. And then I'm going to put the escape stuff, like the final, woohoo, you did it, like prize stuff, in a drawer. And so when they finally get this puzzle and they come to you with this 650 code and you verify that it's right, you can give them an envelope, that whatever you want. You can have it say, go check the drawer, or you can just say, woohoo, you did it, and go open the drawer for them. You know, whatever. Just place at some point a obvious thing that says you are finished with the escape room. So I'm going to go hide these things and we'll show you what it looks like from the player's perspective. The answer is 37542. I found 2 rabbits and a reindeer. The code is left, right, right, up, up, left, right, down. Yes! The code is myth. This cipher can be a little bit tricky. We have an alphabet here, all with 5-letter words, and then we have some blanks and some facts about the different words. So the first one says anagram of Dusty. I have to come back to my list and find which of these words is an anagram, which means all the letters are the same, but they're switched around. And I have study. Study is an anagram. So that means B is my first letter. Rhymes with bleak. So now I have to go through here and see if anything rhymes with bleak. I don't see anything right away that ends in the EAK like that one does, but if I start saying them out loud, crazy, study, adult, madam, peak. Peak. Does not spell the same, but it sounds the same. So that letter is E. The final code is 650. Yes, we escaped! And that's it. That's the entire escape room. So you can make that your own. You can do different ciphers that show different locations. You can do different puzzles. There are 30 in total, 30 over 30. So you can make it your own, and there's also a handful of editable ones as well, like you saw at that very last puzzle. So check it out. It's on my website. It is $15, and it goes to support my company and make more escape rooms. I hope you enjoy it, and if you have any ideas for future videos, let me know in the comments. Love you guys. Have a great day. Bye!